Good evening, everybody. I'm Komal Jain, Teen Rins, an aspiring psychologist. And today we're here for our first mini roundtable on physical health. We had our teenagers roundtable on 28th of June, uh, and we spoke about multiple dimensions of health, be it physical health, financial health, sexual health, mental health, emotional health. We covered seven aspects, and these many roundtables following that is our attempt to add to the white paper that we're going to raise so that we hear from teenagers as well as experts on these dimensions of health. We have four very special people with us today for the roundtable, two of whom have been our speakers at the Teenagers Roundtable, and two of which who are experts and have been supporting us for this as well. So, quickly introducing the speakers for today, starting with our teams on the roundtable. Riya Pandit, who is a thoughtful psychology enthusiast with a rich background in MUNs and debates. She thrives on dialogue and dynamic learning. She brings creativity, adaptability, as well as collaboration to every conversation that she's a part of. Welcome, Riya. Thank you for being here. We have Anya, a grade 9 student from Leelavati Podar High School, who is a passionate dancer, swimmer, and reader. She brings energy, curiosity, and dedication to the Roundtable. Welcome, Anya. So glad you're here. We have Shilpa Mittal, an award winning nutritionist with 25 plus years of rich experience and 10,000 plus success stories. She helps people fall in love with food. With expertise in diabetes, oncology, and pediatric nutrition, she blends science with her unique model of creative writing. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of this. And finally, we have Bijal Parekh, ma'am, a certified yoga instructor and health coach. She has 8 plus years of rich experience teaching therapeutic, power, and kids yoga. She has worked with cancer patients and prenatal mothers, blending care with holistic practice. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Um, so, welcoming the topic and welcoming you all, physical health is one of the most crucial aspects that we've been speaking about for years in multiple different ways. Although, when it comes to teenagers' physical health over the years, with digital devices becoming such a boom where most of us are just sitting all day, right? Even when we go to classrooms, where we're on our professional journeys, uh, the the scenario and the environment is such that requires a lot of less physical work per se. Work has also shifted, and schools have also shifted to more cognitive load and cognitive understanding, and a lot of sitting down and working things out. And especially after COVID as well, where most of us were at home, it has become a little more difficult after COVID for teenagers to step out, to play, in the colony or to just be physically active as they were before COVID. Um, so starting with you, Bijal ma'am, um, we were just talking about schools and COVID and all of this. So my question to you is, as schools and families push academic performance, especially during teenage years, because there's ninth standard, 10th standard, further studies, boards, and so, how can we ensure that physical health is not sidelined, but seen as essential to success?
Yeah. Firstly, I would like to highlight that doing very small activities in your daily routine, just walking around or even jumping for kids, if they like dance, so if they can inherit dance in their daily routine also. Giving 5 minutes warm up exercises, just moving their body parts, and a little bit of omkar chanting, breathing movement, so which will definitely help them for their focus, their concentration, and definitely their physical aspect also will be uh, balanced.
Absolutely. So I absolutely hear you. It is in the little steps that we take, and that would lead us to a more habit that we've built for our physical health. Would you like to add a little bit about how we can understand? physical health as a crux to, being successful, because success is mostly always aligned with your financial health or with the respect or how known you are per se, and quite less with physical health unless you are in the physical health space. So if you could just highlight a little bit about that. Why is it so crucial for teens to understand that?
Because nowadays there is too much of exposure to the digital things. So I would definitely recommend each and every teenager to do some asanas, which are very easy, quick to do it, and doesn't take much time, which will help them for their mental growth also. It will definitely even shift their focus right from digital to their studies. They can move ahead, and this will help them like doing tadasan. There is brahmari pranayam which enhances the memory. It boosts your memory power, so that the vibrations and everything which is helping them a lot. So these are the things which I think they should do it in their everyday life.
Mm. I hear you. Thank you so much for that insightful answer.
You're
Um,
welcome.
Anya, I would like to hear from you about what do you feel is the biggest challenge that you face in staying physically active when it comes to your daily routine, studies, and academics?
Yes, so of course, physical activity is important. So as a swimmer, I go for swimming 3 to 4 times a week, and sometimes it gets hard to manage my time because I swim for about 1.5 hour, and then since I'm a swimmer, I have to come home and wash my hair and everything. So the whole process takes 2 hours, and I end up using 2 hours of my day in that when I could be studying. But then physical activity is also important, and it depends on which sport you do or what kind of physical activity. Uh, I feel like my sport is a little more advanced, but people who do normal just running or 10 to 15 minutes of just exercises, that should keep them physically active. It depends on your capacity.
So how would you say, like you said, you face a little difficulty when it comes to, because a lot of time is spent where you need to allocate that time that, okay, this is for my physical fitness or physical wellness per se. What do you feel when it comes to your age group or teenagers in general? Why are, do you feel they're prioritizing? How would you see it? What is their biggest roadblock when it comes to this?
Mainly academics. So people feel like physical activity will take up a lot of time and they don't have time to waste for prioritizing their health. But so instead they study. But sitting on a chair and studying for 4 to 5 hours may help you like uh, be successful. But then you're not taking care of your health, which could affect you in the future. And many people they say that they have to study but then they don't study and they don't do physical activity either. So there should be a balance in a teenager's life where they prioritize both physical health and study.
I hear you. That's such a lovely answer. It does require balance. Um, Shilpa ma'am, coming to another segment of this, I would like to understand that what do you feel are the biggest misconceptions that young teenagers have about fitness and nutrition, especially, and how can we shift those mindsets early on?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting. I mean, I was a part of this in the beginning, and it really feels a pleasure. And Rinse Academy is doing really well in putting forth the white paper. So, more power to you all, Riddhi and her team. Okay, so coming to my question, coming to your question of fitness, what I see in my practice is there are two extremes of teenagers. One, especially among boys and even among females, it's more to do with the body image. So they go and do a lot of, I mean, maybe strict or fat kind of a dieting. That's more with the girls. And if we come to boys, it is like the six pack abs, the fat which is going on, cuts chahiye, cuts chahiye. So that is where they go wrong with the supplement, too much of supplementing without knowledge, or they would do just go on YouTube, calculate themselves, or take help of some unqualified person. And so that is how what I'm seeing in my practice is it is causing more harm. So maybe at least 3 to 4 kids this summer vacation is on the verge of high kidney profile, wherein I had to literally stop, intervene, the doctor, and so many things. So I'm seeing this kind of two extremities. One, as you mentioned, kids are studying and not having time, but as young as boys in the grade 9, 10, especially after 8, they are into gymming and such a hardcore gymming wherein they then go on to supplements, cut down on carbs, and a lot of other things wherein parents are actually concerned. So I'm seeing this kind of a trend of late.
Absolutely hear you. These trends are certainly coming up. Um, just in alignment with this, Ria, I would like to ask you, when it comes to, talking between friends, group chat, how do you, as a teenager, how do you and your friends talk or perhaps not talk about exercise, food, and your physical health?
So, in between me and my friend circle, we take physical health as the essential part of maintaining self care. So, a lot of the times we meet together, we plan workouts together, and we really try to maintain a balance because now, since I'm in 12th, we have boards and entrance exams, and there's so much of stress. So, it's important to also release that stress through like physical health, fitness, and exercise. So we often plan online workouts where we maybe do Pilates or yoga or something small like that, maybe even for 15 minutes. But it feels really good, even like after exams and everything like that.
I'm glad. Okay, so this is an open question to both teams, Anya and Ria. If you all could change how your physical education classes look like in school, how would you all see it as? What would you all feel it should be?
Yeah, so in my school, we have 1 hour of physical exercise, and like our ground is quite far from the school, so it takes 20 minutes just to travel. So we end up only staying there for 30 or 40 minutes. And in those 30 to 40 minutes, we do 5 minutes of jumping jacks and stuff like that. And then they just tell us to do whatever we want. Now there's a football court and there's a basketball court. Now, some people don't play both sports, so they just sit around and walk. Honestly, me too. Even I just walk around in PT because I know that I do other physical exercise, so I don't like the physical classes in school don't really matter to me. But for many students who don't do anything, this is the only time when they can pursue physical when they can maintain their physical health through school uh, classes. And but they all just while away their time because there are only two options of sports. So if our school could increase or maybe provide proper coaching, because the coaches do not teach the students how to play football and basketball. They just do whatever they want on the football court and the basketball court. So the students who don't know how to play either of the sports, they just walk around. So and walk around and sometimes just sit on the side on the benches. So like that is not okay because it's like 30 to 40 minutes, and the coaches should help the students do something else.
Absolutely.
I actually have a similar answer. In our college, we only have a PET period like once in a week, and that also it's only 40 minutes, and it's mostly theory because it's a it's a subject where it's more theory and biology than actually doing exercise. I wish that our professors would actually take effort in going to the ground, making us even walk or run rather than just sitting in a classroom and just kind of ratifying all of the paragraphs so we can ace our exams.
I hear you. Picking on this, experts, I would like to hear from y'all. What do you feel we as a society, how can we, because we just spoke about how we're more sitting down, and as Anya and Ria both mentioned that PE in school is there, but it's perhaps not sufficient or essentially put out for everybody, all the students being catered to. Um, how do you all feel as a society, as schools, how can they prioritize physical health in terms of not as an extra subject, which is like, oh, extra period or so? And how can this also cater to how lifestyle diseases are starting younger each year? Like we're seeing more heart conditions, more kidney conditions, um, more diabetes coming up, more obesity coming up every year, and starting quite young. So, how do you feel there can be a systematic change or something that we can do about this?
Okay, so what I feel is it is all about giving priority, as both of the teams mentioned. It is both. I mean, as a society, if we say, so we as adults, parents also have equal role to play. They also should give priority to the fitness and health, and same goes with the school. So, as Anya rightly mentioned about the maybe just one say 1 hour of time for the exercise, 20 minutes goes in coming and going. I think if I remember my childhood, we strictly had, I think, 3 or 4 classes of, we used to call it PT. Of course, that was boring, but our sir used it, and there was always sir who used to be like बहुत strict. So they ensured that we do normal exercise 1, 2, 3. I still remember, but we used to do. So that is how it became a part and parcel of being active. For them, it is okay because, as she rightly said, there are coaches and big schools have to select what they have to do, and the kids who are not interested, they can just sit aside because even the teachers are overloaded with work. So I think there has to be a compulsion wherein school also gives priority. So whatever it is, kids have to engage 1 hour in physical activity. And what I feel other thing is this schools also give a good lunch break, maybe half an hour. So that's just the thought coming to my mind is 15 minutes is enough to eat your lunch, especially for elder kids. They can make kids responsible, maybe each class or maybe some houses or whatever it is, and they plan some kind of a unique event or something for 15 minutes, physical event, and the school appreciates or then rewards them. So this would be kind of an healthy competition, and those 15 minutes also the kids, I mean, engage some into some kind of activity, and they everybody would look forward to not just running around or something, but some kind of unique out of the box idea. And these teams are brilliant in coming up with that. So schools can encourage that as well, wherein they don't have to put in extra efforts. None of the teachers are involved, but these kids can only take it ahead. That's what I feel schools can do on their part.
Yeah, even I agree. I second with Shilpa Mittalji. I would definitely say all the schools, they should before the lecture starts, they should definitely have half an hour or 15 minutes session of yoga. So where they're maintaining a balance of physical as well as their mental health. And when then they start with their study, it's definitely going to change their perspective of studying and everything. So I definitely would even, and I have seen right now many schools they are definitely putting in efforts for introducing yoga in their daily this daily basis. So which is helping the kids a lot because in teenagers now PCOD, PCOS it's coming at a very early stage. So if, doing these things, it will help them.
Absolutely, I hear both of you. So it really comes down to making this an integral part of education systems of our day-to-day lives, not just from, like you mentioned, not just from the educators or the schools end, but also from the parents end. Coming back again to Anya and Riya, since both of you mentioned, that you all do prioritize your physical health, what is it that motivates you to take care of your physical health?
So for me, as I mentioned before, I usually plan workouts with friends. Actually, in the start during COVID, since we were always home and I couldn't exactly go and do extracurricular activities, I used to always be on my phone or my laptop, and I didn't really prioritize physical health or exercising. But after I met a few of my friends, they really showed me how important it is to stay balanced between both. And so I think having that kind of friend circle really motivates you to get started. Even individually, I can do it on my own, but that's what kind of gave me the push that I needed.
For me, more than motivation is just my passion for swimming. I've been swimming since I was 3 years old. My mom sent me for my first class. I hated it at first, but then I kept on starting, and for it's been more than 9 years since I've been swimming, and and now it's not a compulsion for me. I just go because I really like to swim.
Super interesting. Now coming to the flip side of it, anywhere that you all have feel that you all have missed perhaps taking care of your physical health and that has impacted you in a certain way, if you all would like to just share.
I think during COVID, everyone gave up on their physical health. Like most, like everything was shut. Gyms, classes, football classes, swimming classes, everything was closed. So people just sat at home. School was online, so no one stepped out of the house. And then people used to study or work, and no one used to do physical exercise even at home. So I think that is where I lacked and uh, where I didn't put enough attention to my physical health. But after everything reopened after COVID, I started, I gave, I gave a push to myself and I started swimming again.
I actually have a similar answer. During COVID, we were really young, and I didn't really know a lot about fitness, exercise, and the balance that it creates. So I didn't really give it a priority back then. But because of my friend circle and also because of those home workout videos, I got started in working out at home, even if it's like a 15-minute session of yoga or Pilates or anything like that. I just wanted to get started because staying home every day, every time, it just felt so congested. And for me, exercise was a way to relieve that stress and frustration that I was feeling. So that's when I started. And even after COVID, I have tried to do a lot of extracurricular activities, been doing workouts at home, and
How lovely. So COVID was a major factor, like both of you mentioned, when it came to sort of taking a seat back when it came to physical health. Experts, I'd like to ask both of you if you've handled any particular cases when it comes to the age group of teenagers, which you would like to share when it came to physical health.
Okay, so as I told you, I do see kids, especially during around vacation time. I have seen kids as young as 9, 10 years of age, uh, PCOD and all, as Pijal rightly mentioned. But I had a case of 10-year-old with high BP and high sugars. The kid was quite overweight and on the verge of doctor just starting off with the pills. Doctor had just given him time, maybe a month. If he doesn't reduce weight, he would by default had to start so that the body, doesn't suffer even more. So that was something which I handled a 10-year-old, but thankfully he was very cooperative. And I think that was like how you're asking them, that was a trigger or a turning point for him to pay attention to his health and eating habit. So yes, this is what I'm commonly seeing. Only thing is they need to understand and that education should stay with them. So for that, it has to be flashed everywhere, right? The teachers, the parents, and his or her surrounding, I feel.
Yeah. With very less physical movement during COVID, even I faced a case where a 10, 11 years old girl, she was having asthma. She couldn't move around and she was having pumps. So, which I definitely tried to make it very less. She used to have it thrice a day. So, and then slowly she was feeling better. And as gradually the COVID thing opened, to move out in nature, to take that fresh air, so which is helping again, and giving the breathing exercises, the breath control, which definitely helped her to move out of her pump, and now she's really doing very good with that. So I definitely had that case of asthmatic, which is at a very young age.
I understand. I understand. So we've discussed so much from what are the roadblocks to what are the solutions to what are the turning points and triggers and how physical health really, really can impact and change the lifestyle also that we want to live and the one that we are living. Anything else that any of you would like to add to the conversation?
Feel there is a very big need of I mean, consuming outside food the least the possible, especially with easy access to just a click away with the delivery system. I think that is something which needs to be worked on.
Now with this technology, it's good. We have good thing and bad things too. But kids and even parents, they can do workout online also. So there is a benefit which they can do it from home if they are unable to take out time to go to the gym or do any other area. So I think this is helping both ways. It is good and bad both.
Absolutely. Anything that you all would like to add, Ria and Anand?
I would just like to say that healthcare should be a priority in learning institutes, like especially in colleges and schools where children are going through stressful papers like entrance exams and boards. Because I know, like I faced it personally, how the stress can really, build up pressure on you. So I just hope that professors and teachers really take that as a priority.
And like I think that students should really prioritize their health and not only focus on academics because it's true that academics will help you grow a lot in the future and you should focus on your studies too. But physical health will also go a long way and will reduce your problems in the future, your health problems in the future.
Absolutely, and so agreed to all of you. Health certainly has to be a priority, and even while we study psychology and we see in the field, uh, absolutely your physical health affects your mental health, and vice versa. But thank you so much for all four of, thank you so much to all four of you for sharing insights. We did want to hear from the teams about what is physical health from their lens, and we had experts to bridge the gap between the knowledge and science of it, as well as what is the reality, what is actually happening with the scenes, with the teens that are, perhaps struggling or trying to manage, and also sort of understanding that, okay, this is how I'm going to manage my physical health. Um, but this is our first step again to our mini roundtables. Physical, we're starting off with physical health, and there are 6 more mini roundtables to come on each of the other dimensions that we did. While physical health, we started off with because it is such a strong pillar, if not physical health. It's difficult, right, to manage other things. If you're not feeling well, one day you fall sick, it affects so many other things that you're doing. It affects all aspects of your life, be it sleep, be it your nutrition, or be it the exercise daily that you're doing. Um, the movement that you're doing, right? So, thank you so much to everybody who was a part of this. Thank you so much to everybody watching. And a huge thank you to Team Rins and all the panelists, all the guests that we've had as speakers, not just in this mini roundtable today, but also the roundtable, the main roundtable that we had, and our first Rins roundtable back in 2020. Some of you have been a part of that as well. So, thank you so much for that. This is me signing off from Team Wins and thanking all of you once again for your constant support to help us raise the white paper along with reports for teens' health and all dimensions of health. So thank you so much once again and good evening. Take care. Bye bye.